Welcome back to SkywayTj, everybody, and today is a very special day and a very special video for me. According to my Letterboxd account, and I went through and scoured each and every year to make sure I didn't miss anything, I've officially watched my 1000th movie. Now, yes, I've watched over 1,000 movies, I'm sure, with rewatches and everything, but in terms of movies overall, I have seen 1,000 individual films, and I felt like just yapping about it. We're going to go over my stats and everything on my Letterboxd account, because it'll be fun. But first we're going to go over what my 1000th movie was and how I felt about that. Just real quick. So for number 1,000, I went with Citizen Kane, mostly because everybody and most lists always regard Citizen Kane as the greatest movie of all time. And when it came out, I'm sure it was. And I'm pretty sure this is the greatest movie of all time because boomers make these lists and everything. I'm not going to sit here and tell you that Citizen Kane is bad. It's not. It's a good time. It's a fine movie. But for me personally, it just didn't hit the way it was supposed to, I feel. And that's fine. Citizen Kane was alright. I finally know what the fuck Rosebud means after all these years. And that's fun. But overall, it just wasn't for me. And I gave it 3 out of 5 on Letterboxd. And you know what? I'm sorry if that upsets you. It's just not my type of movie. But I understand what it did for movies in general. So for the first 1,000, I figured I'd have one of the greatest movies of all time in there. That's why it was number 1,000. It was fine. So if you're ever curious about my Letterboxd page, here it is. You can see all my stats and all that fun shit. We're gonna go into my actual stats here, and we are going to just check a few things out. We're gonna yap about some movies here. So as you can see, 1,000 films, almost 1,800 hours of movies watched, 678 directors. I've watched things from 35 countries apparently. That just means movies that are produced from these different production companies in different places. They're mostly the United States, but then there's like offshoot countries that help out. My longest streak is 85 weeks of watching movies. That's mostly because of that movie competition I was in last year where I was watching a movie every fucking day. That was crazy. So my highest rated decades are the 1980s is on top, which makes total sense. The movies in there, you got a bunch of Ghibli, a bunch of Disney, a lot of horror came out in the 80s, and I love my horror movies, so that makes complete and total sense. Back to the Future's in there. Come on. Second highest rated decade is the 1970s, which surprised me because, to me, I don't often think that I watch a lot of things from the 70s, but I guess I do. Grease is in there, Halloween, Rocky, One Flew Over the Cuckoo's Nest, the Planet of the Apes movies, although the first one was in 68, so it's probably all the other ones. But the average rating is 3.66. 3.5 is my go-to rating on Letterboxd most of the time. I will admit, it's kind of a crutch, but whatever. And then my third highest rated decade is the 1990s, which, wild. I don't often think about the 90s. You'd think, because I was born in the 90s, but I guess I go back and watch a lot of those movies. I would have thought the 2000s would have been higher, but I guess not. But you got things in there like Groundhog Day, Princess Mononoke, Jurassic Park, obviously, Toy Story, obviously, Nightmare Before Christmas, Scream, or I guess all of my favorite movies pretty much came out in the 90s, so this is making sense. Pokemon, the first movie, Billy Madison, Lion King, yeah, it makes sense. So those are my 3 highest rated decades, so that's crazy to me. These themes and nano genres are interesting. I don't think they're very accurate on Letterboxd, and to me, I think they need to go in there and actually make them more precise. But we got apparently crude humor and satire is my number 1 theme. I don't believe that, because if you go in here, there's a whole lot of things that I would not agree goes on, like Ghostbusters Frozen Empire. They make little weird jokes, but that's like a sci-fi movie or a horror movie-esque shit. You know what I mean? So I don't really look at these stats that much because I don't think they're 100% accurate. These list progress, I would like to actually fill out some of these lists in the next 1,000. You know what I mean? Because I'm at 81% for the box office mojo of all time. Those are the highest grossing movies of all time. I've seen 81%, which is 81 of the 100. So I'd like to just hit that 100. I'd like to fill out most of these. The Letterboxd top 250. Some of those, the people on Letterboxd are kind of a bit full of themselves. So some of their top 50, I don't know if I would necessarily agree with. I haven't seen half of these, even heard of half of these. So, I don't know. we have to see about that. What else? 1001 to See Before You Die. 1001 movies is kind of a big task, but you know, it'd be interesting to maybe. But yeah, some of these I'd like to fill out. Not all of them, but some of them for sure. And then here we have the collections, which I think is a really cool thing on Letterboxd. It shows you the collections of movies that you've watched, and as someone who loves making sure I watch every film in a series before I see like the next one, this is always fun to see. We got the Spider-Man MCU collection, the Avengers collection, Guardians of the Galaxy collection, the Harry Potter collection. I think for this the MCU type shit, they should just all put them together into an MCU collection, but that's fine. The Spider-Man collection, which is the OG Raimi trilogy, Star Wars, Captain America, Hunger Games, Thor, Iron Man, Toy Story, John Wick. That's cool. If I go into the complete one, I've seen 53 complete series apparently. Annabelle collection, Ant-Man, again, Avengers, all this jazz, Cars, Child's Play, Conjuring, Creed, Evil Dead, Exorcist, Equalizer, Expendables, Fantastic Beasts, Fast and Furious, the Fear Street collection, Friday the 13th, all the Futurama movies, Godzilla, Guardians of the Galaxy, Halloween, Harry Potter, the Hercule Poirot, the Murder on the Orient Express movies with Kenneth Branagh, Hunger Games again, Indiana Jones, Insidious, Iron Man, John Wick, Jumanji, Jurassic Park, On Top, the first one, Lion King, Mad Max, Meet the Parents, Mission Impossible, Night at the Museums, Nightmare on Elm Street, Planet of the Apes, the original 5, and then the reboot collection, which I love how they didn't even put the remake in either of the Planet of the Apes ones. I've seen that one too. Purge, Rocky, the Rugrats, Saw, Scream, Spider-Man, the other Spider-Man, Star Wars, Thor, Toy Story, Transformers, the Twilight, Wolverine, and then the X-Men movies. Yeah, I've seen all these, and I think they do an almost one. So these are the series that I've almost completed. Bad Boys, I only need to see the new one that's out right now. Christmas Story, I didn't know there was a Christmas Story 2. And I've seen the first one, and I saw the one where Ralphie has his own kids and shit that came out a couple years ago. So I guess I gotta watch Christmas Story 2. What the fuck? The Fairy Tale collection, I'm not really gonna complete because Letterboxd puts OVAs and like TV type shit in their thing, and I'm not gonna log an OVA that's like 12 minutes long. I'm not gonna watch that. That's stupid. Because I use Letterboxd for movies, not short shit like that. Whatever. Ghostbusters, I've never seen Ghostbusters 2 or the shitty 2016 one. So, you know, Hangover, I've never seen 3. Ice Age, I've never seen The Adventures of Buck Wild, which is the newest one. And I've never seen Shrek Forever After. So I got to get on these. I would like to fill these out besides, you know, that Fairy Tale one. But those are my collections. I think this is a really cool thing that Letterboxd does. I really do. And if you've ever been interested in what my all-time most watched stars are, you know, Adam Sandler's up there. I've seen like every Adam Sandler movie. Adam Sandler's the GOAT. We all know that. He is the funniest man. We all know. John Ratzenberger's probably because of all the Pixar movies. He's in like all of them as a cameo or whatever. Seth Rogen makes sense. Bill Hader. Samuel L. Jackson's kind of surprising to me, but I guess he is in fucking everything. Jackie Sandler's again the Adam Sandler connection. Alan Covert, same thing. John Leguizamo, I have no fucking clue. I just know he's in the Ice Age movies as Sid. That's all I know. What? You know, let's look. Oh, he's in a lot of things. Alright, whatever. Doesn't make sense. Whatever. Chris Evans, John DiMaggio, whatever. These are all my most watched stars and my directors, you know, the most watched. Miyazaki makes complete sense because I've been on my Ghibli kick lately. I still have a couple more of his to watch. I'll be done. Tim Burton. Love Tim Burton. James Wan makes excellent horror movies. Michael Bay is wild. I guess I just watch a lot of his shit. I watch the Transformers and the Bad Boys movies, so, and Armageddon. So, alright, we'll take that. Sam Raimi, the GOAT. Of course, Steven Spielberg, the actual GOAT. Yeah, these all make sense. David Yates is Harry Potter. These all, George Miller's the Mad Max. Yeah. These all make sense. These all make sense. And the last thing I figured I'd yap about in this video to celebrate this milestone is I'd go over my 5-star club. These are movies that I've logged on Letterboxd as 5 stars. Despite critical reception, despite whatever, these are like my personal favorite movies. I thought it was shorter than was. There's like 90 movies on here, which I think out of 1,000 is a pretty good percentage of movies that I think are amazing and perfect. I'm not going to be able to talk in length about all of them, but you know, we got some prime examples here. Jurassic Park and Back to the Future are my 2 favorite movies of all time. at any given day, they could go back and forth, but I often say Jurassic Park is my favorite movie ever. There are so many things about Jurassic Park that I love. The nostalgia factor, the fact that it changed movie history forever. I could go on for years about Jurassic Park. It'll always be number one for me. I don't see anything ever taking its spot. And Back to the Future is like the greatest 80s film of all time. The sci-fi elements are so cool. The time travel. It's fucking perfect. If Hollywood ever fucks up Back to the Future and tries to remake it, I will be extremely, extremely disappointed. Of course, we have Harry Potter and the Prisoner of Azkaban, one of the greatest things. What else we got in here? Endgame, of course, Midsummer. Sleepaway Camp is a horrible movie. We all know that if you've seen it. But in terms of the the bad acting and dialogue, you just gotta talk about it. Toy Story, one of the greatest animated movies of all time. Spider-Man 2. I mean, it's Spider-Man 2. I mean, how could you not? Saw is one of the greatest horror movies. Scream is the greatest horror movie. The Breakfast Club, one of the greatest 80s coming-of-age movies. The Thing is so fucking scary, so good and atmospheric. You got Forrest Gump in here. Adventureland, Zombieland, Into the Spider-Verse, Everything Everywhere All at Once. Super 8 I watched within the last year, and that instantly made this list. I cannot believe I hadn't watched it before. Neighbors should not be on a list like this, but that's like probably my favorite comedy of all time. It makes me laugh every fucking time. I can't help it. Flushed Away, that's probably just a childhood thing. I watched Flushed Away so much growing up, but it's here. And you know what? We're going to accept it. That's fine. Scott Pilgrim vs. the World, when I first watched it, I was like, how the fuck haven't I seen this before? And it's perfect. Like my stylistic idea of movies, I don't even know what I'm talking about. But Scott Pilgrim definitely deserves to be on here. Suzume came out like last year. Instantly made the list. So fucking good. Of course, Deathly Hallows Part 2, Avengers, Guardians of the Galaxy, of course. Year Without a Santa Claus is my favorite Christmas movie. It hits every time, mostly because of the Miser Brothers, let's be real. Pokemon, Billy Madison, Paul Blart Mall Cop, yes, it's on here. Fuck you if you disagree. Paul Blart Mall Cop is so fucking funny. Fuck yes. Christmas Story, great Christmas movie. Meet the Robinsons, underrated Disney one. I really love Ice Age, specifically the second one. Brother Bear is the most underrated fucking Disney movie of all time. Fight me. Sonic 1 and 2 should both be on here. Excellent movies. I thought those were going to be horrible, but they're great. Tarzan's a great Disney movie. If you've never seen Sinister, so fucking scary. The first Willy Wonka, Jumanji, Napoleon Dynamite. The Wizard of Oz is like probably my favorite old movie. So good. Detective Pikachu. I don't know. I know it wasn't received that well, but it just hit me for some reason. I really liked what I saw, so it's here. I'm sorry. I love the Night at the Museum movies. They got to be here. Beetlejuice, Nightmare on Elm Street, Greatest Showman, Ready or Not. The boys over there at Radio Silence really know how to direct movies and blow shit up. Loved Ready or Not. Ready Player One. I know that's just the have you seen a movie before movie, but I don't know. There's something about the CGI in there. It was really good. It's Steven Spielberg. He put the fucking DeLorean and the T-Rex from Jurassic Park in there. How am I not supposed to give that 5 stars? I'm sorry. I just had to. Conjuring is a great horror movie. Free Guy is just my type of movie, so that's why it's on here. Moana, Toy Story 2, Shrek 2, Edward Scissorhands. I mean, come on. Toy Story 3, Nightmare Before Christmas. Last Night in Soho is a great horror movie. Definitely check it out. Shrek, obviously. Lion King, Superbad. John Wick. Incredible. Spider-Man. Bullet Train is an amazing movie. Civil War, Captain America Civil War. Mwah. So good. Empire Strikes Back is the best. Sorry, Empire Strikes Back, the greatest Star Wars movie. Let's be honest with ourselves. Hereditary. Love Ari Aster. He gave us Midsummer too. He's an incredible horror director. Yes. Infinity War, obviously. Knives Out's the greatest whodunit I've ever watched, besides Clue, maybe. Your Name. Same dude who directed Suzume, so good. Across the Spider-Verse, Indiana Jones. Sorry, Raiders of the Lost Ark, my fault. Guardians 3, yes. Barbie and Bottoms both made the list from last year. Such excellent movies. The First Halloween, Groundhog's Day, Nimona. Oh, yeah. Spirited Away is probably my favorite animated movie I've ever seen now. It's so good. Grave of the Fireflies and Princess Mononoke and Howl's Moving Castle, all from Ghibli, all heart-wrenching and amazingly beautiful films. Ghibli does it like no other, especially Miyazaki. Yes, Paddington 2 is the perfect movie. There's nothing wrong with Paddington 2. Sorry, silent voice and the little animated thing. Boy Kills World is a movie I watched this year. Really enjoyed it. Added it to the 5 stars. Mad Max Fury Road, also watched it before the sequel came out this year. And Grease. I love Grease. Fuck you if you disagree. Sorry. Those are my 5 stars. Well, guys, that was just a little look into my Letterboxd account and my thousand movie collection, if you will. Yeah, I love movies. I think I love movies more than I love most things. Movies and video games and shit like that. I just love escaping into a different reality and forgetting about my own for a little bit and watching stuff like this. So yeah, it's a bit sentimental to me. I know I yap about movies way too much, but it's one of the only few things in this world that gives me joy, and it's very fun to see that I've hit 1,000 movies. I am very excited to watch even more, hit even higher goals. I looked at my watch list on Letterboxd, and there are over 1,000 movies in there, so I'm going to be busy forever. I don't think I'll ever be able to watch every movie I want to, but I want to watch as many as I can before I die, and that's my overall life goal. It might sound sad, but that is what I want to do, and I'm going to try. So, thank you for watching this long-winded video. I hope it interested you in some way. I do not know what we're going to be doing next week, but I will see you then. Stay safe out there. Have a fantastic day and weekend, and I'll see you in the next video. Bye-bye.